I have never watched a Final Destination movie in my life. There are about 6 Final Destination movies that I'm aware of and never watched the whole footage of these movies. The most I'll say is seeing Final Destination clips with the log scene and the airplane scene, and the context was used for memes for the most part. So we had this new Final Destination movie come out called Bloodline. And at first I thought it was a regular type of horror movie, especially with legacy movies like the Halloween movies, The Conjuring, and any type of horror movie that gets a billion sequels. I saw the trailer for Final Destination Bloodline and it looks cool, but it didn't catch my interest. Then I saw the reviews online and the Rotten Tomatoes score and was like, you know what? I'm finally going to go to a theater and watch a Final Destination movie. I think the trailer for Bloodline made the movie look fun. I always wanted to see a Final Destination movie, and the overwhelming good reviews got me curious on how the Final Destination Bloodline movie is. Final Destination is what we call a fun movie experience. So everybody knows what Final Destination is about. At least from my understanding, it's a horror of accidents that occurs like a car crash, airplanes falling, a glass on the floor, and basically an incident that involves death. Now let me just say, without spoiling the movie, the first 15 minutes of Final Destination Bloodline spelled out clearly on what this movie is about. Let's just say we follow a couple, right? And they went on a date inside a just built sky high dinner place. Mind you, this was during the 1950s or 60s. People back then weren't efficient making stiff built buildings like we do now with advanced technology. So the couple comes in the building, goes to the elevator, and from then on, one of them notices things about the building, which eventually leads them and the people inside to some tragic incidents. Then we go to the present time after that. Seeing the first 15 minutes made me realize why I'm always careful when I'm going to any event. Or 2, it felt like the roller coaster ride watching the opening scene. Like you didn't know when the movie was going to make that drop. And when it does, you're locked in on Final Destination Bloodline the rest of the way. The key for a scary movie to me is if the characters are entertaining to watch, because for most horror flicks, the main characters are insufferable. We follow this college student, Stefani, played by Caitlin Santana-Buana. She was cool. Stefani is just your typical horror girl protagonist. She has dreams that gives her a sign something is happening, and she tries to warn her family about the incidents. All the cast members in this movie just did their part. But the stands out to me was Stefani's cousins Eric Campbell and Bobby Campbell. The Campbell brothers were the funniest characters in this movie. Eric is just a petty individual that is a tattoo artist. Eric throughout the whole movie was just trolling Stefani about her visions, and when things happen to him, he feels unstoppable for some reason, and it cracked me up. Now Bobby was just, I wouldn't say dumb, but naive. Bobby is more like Butters from South Park. He always get into situations that he know he shouldn't be in, but get involved in those situations anyway. Also, Tony Todd was in this movie. If you don't know Tony Todd, he's most known in the film horror community and most known as Candyman. And it was a nice send-off. Rest in peace to Tony Todd. Final Destination Bloodline was so much fun that all the flaws and typical horror stuff in the writing can be ignored in my opinion. The filmmakers accomplished making this film a roller coaster that you just want to get on over and over again. There were a few references about the past Final Destination movies I didn't get, but I'm well aware of that certain things the characters say are in reference to the past movies. If you want something to watch with your friends to have a good time at the theater, especially if they love horror, Final Destination Bloodline is a perfect movie to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if it's really a hit on streaming during Halloween, along with Sinners of course. Don't get me wrong, Final Destination Bloodline did not blow me away, but I had a really good time watching it, and now I have an interest in watching the other Final Destination movies. Mission accomplished.